Section 1, Introduction. Across the forests, tundras, and grasslands of the Northern Hemisphere, few animals have shaped both ecosystems and human imagination as profoundly as the wolf. Known scientifically as Canis lupus, the gray wolf is one of the most intensively studied large carnivores on Earth, yet it remains a symbol of both fear and admiration. From a scientific perspective, the wolf represents a high point of social coordination, endurance hunting, and ecological influence. As an apex predator, it occupies the top levels of food webs, regulating prey populations and indirectly affecting vegetation, rivers, and countless other species. Studies suggest that the presence or absence of wolves can trigger far-reaching ecological changes, making them potential keystone species in certain landscapes. To better understand this phenomenon, it is necessary to look beyond simple notions of predator and prey. The wolf is also a cultural figure that has been revered, demonized, and reinterpreted across millennia. As we will explore next, the long history of human perceptions provides essential context for the modern scientific view of this complex animal. Section 2, History and Cultural Presence. The relationship between humans and wolves reaches back to the late Ice Age, when both were highly mobile hunters, often pursuing the same large herbivores. Archaeological evidence indicates that early humans and wolves observed one another closely, sometimes in competition and sometimes in cautious coexistence. From certain wolf lineages, the domestic dog eventually emerged, while other lineages continued as fully wild predators and powerful symbols. In ancient Mesopotamia and the Mediterranean world, wolves were associated with strength, guardianship, and divine protection. Roman legend tells of a she-wolf nursing the twin founders Romulus and Remus, casting the animal as a nurturing ancestor of civilization. In Greek and Roman religion, several deities bore wolf associations, blending fear of predation with respect for untamed power. In Norse mythology, wolves occupied both noble and apocalyptic roles. Odin was accompanied by wolves that symbolized loyalty and ferocity, while the colossal wolf Fenrir was destined to bring about cosmic destruction. On the other hand, many indigenous cultures of North America described wolves as teachers and models of cooperation, emphasizing their skill in hunting, sharing food, and caring for offspring. During the European Middle Ages, religious and social changes led to an increasingly negative portrayal. Folklore and Christian sermons cast the wolf as a symbol of greed, chaos, and moral danger. Tales of monstrous wolves and shape-shifting werewolves spread fear and justified systematic persecution. As we turn from these narratives to modern biology, the contrast between symbol and organism becomes especially clear. Section 3, Biological and Scientific Characteristics. Habitat and Distribution. Historically, gray wolves occupied most of North America, Europe, the Middle East, and much of Asia. Based on current scientific understanding, wolves are ecological generalists, capable of living in Arctic tundra, boreal forest, temperate woodland, steppe, and even semi-desert, provided that sufficient prey and space exist. Human persecution, habitat fragmentation, and prey depletion, however, removed wolves from large portions of Western Europe and the contiguous United States by the early 20th century. Legal protections and shifting attitudes have since enabled partial recovery in some regions. Studies suggest that body size and coat characteristics follow climatic gradients. Wolves in colder northern regions tend to be larger, with dense underfur and long guard hairs, consistent with Bergmann's rule, which links larger body size to colder environments. Populations in more temperate or arid areas often show lighter builds and somewhat shorter coats, facilitating heat loss and long-distance travel. Anatomy and evolutionary adaptations. Adult wolves typically weigh between 30 and 50 kilograms, with some northern males exceeding 60 kilograms. Their bodies are optimized for endurance rather than sprinting, long legs, a deep chest, and efficient cardiovascular and respiratory systems allow them to travel tens of kilometers in a single day. The skull and dentition reflect their role as large mammal predators. Strong jaws and robust canines are used to seize and hold prey, while carnassial teeth act as shearing blades, processing flesh and bone. Their sensory abilities are highly developed. From a scientific perspective, olfaction is central to their survival. They can detect prey, carrion, and other wolves at considerable distances under favorable conditions. Acute hearing enables them to perceive faint sounds such as hooves breaking crusted snow, while adaptations for low-light vision support crepuscular and nocturnal activity. Genetic research indicates that wolves and domestic dogs share a common ancestor, with divergence beginning at least 20,000 years ago. Ongoing studies continue to refine this timeline and reveal complex gene flow between wolves, dogs, and related canids such as coyotes. Social behavior, communication and reproduction. Wolves are highly social animals organized into packs, typically composed of a breeding pair and their offspring from 1 or more years, along with additional related adults. Experts believe that pack structure is best understood as a family unit, rather than a rigid hierarchy of alphas and subordinates. Cooperation in hunting, territory defense, and pup rearing enhances the survival of all members. Cooperative hunting focuses mainly on large ungulates such as deer, elk, moose, caribou, and wild boar. Wolves rely less on short bursts of speed than on endurance and coordinated strategy, testing herds and targeting vulnerable individuals, young, old, injured, or weakened. When large prey is scarce, they shift to smaller mammals, birds, fish, or carrion, demonstrating a flexible feeding strategy. Communication within and between packs is complex. Howling serves to maintain contact over long distances, advertise territory, and reunite scattered members. Body postures, facial expressions, and scent marking convey information about identity, reproductive state, and social status. Studies suggest that individual wolves possess distinctive vocal signatures. Reproduction usually occurs once per year. In temperate regions, mating takes place in late winter, followed by a gestation of about 63 days. Litters typically contain 4 to 6 pups, born blind and dependent in a den. Unlike many solitary predators, wolf pups are raised cooperatively. Older siblings and other adults help feed, protect, and socialize them. As juveniles mature, many disperse to seek new territories and mates, sometimes traveling hundreds of kilometers. As we will explore next, these biological traits intersect with human activities in complex ways. Section 4: Ecological Role and Human Interaction. Within their ecosystems, wolves function as apex predators and, in some circumstances, as keystone species. By preying on large herbivores, they help limit overbrowsing and maintain more balanced plant communities. Their kills provide food for a wide range of scavengers, including ravens, eagles, foxes, and numerous invertebrates, linking them to multiple trophic levels. Experts believe that in certain systems, the removal of wolves can lead to increases in herbivore numbers, altered foraging behavior, and shifts in vegetation structure. Human interaction with wolves has long been shaped by competition for livestock and game. For centuries, organized campaigns of poisoning, trapping, and bounty hunting sought to eradicate wolves from pastoral landscapes. Wolves were also hunted for fur and, in some cultures, incorporated into traditional medicine and ritual. In the modern era, improved livestock management and changing public values have moderated some conflicts, yet tensions persist wherever pastoralism overlaps with wolf territories. Misconceptions about wolf behavior, particularly exaggerated fears of attacks on humans, continue to influence public opinion, even though documented attacks remain rare compared with many other risks. Today, wolves face additional pressures from habitat loss, road networks, climate-driven changes in prey and snow conditions, and genetic dilution through hybridization with free-ranging dogs. Conservation programs in Europe, North America, and parts of Asia now employ legal protection, reintroduction projects, non-lethal deterrence, and community engagement to promote coexistence. To better understand this phenomenon in depth, researchers increasingly combine ecological science with social science, seeking solutions that align human livelihoods with long-term ecosystem stability. Section 5. Lesser-known facts and recent discoveries. Recent behavioral studies have documented wolves adopting or tolerating unrelated pups, indicating social flexibility beyond simple kinship. Adult play, once dismissed as frivolous, now appears to strengthen bonds and reduce tension within packs. Genetic analyses reveal intricate hybridization patterns among wolves, dogs, and coyotes, while bioacoustic research shows that wolf howls are individually distinctive and may communicate emotional states as well as identity. Ongoing research continues to refine our understanding of wolf cognition and cooperation. Section 6. Conclusion. From Ice Age hunting grounds to modern protected areas, the wolf has remained a central figure in both human culture and natural ecosystems. Historically, it has been revered, feared, and systematically persecuted, reflecting shifting human values and worldviews. Scientifically, it stands as a highly adapted social predator whose behavior, physiology, and ecology are tightly tuned to life in demanding environments. By regulating prey populations, shaping vegetation, and sustaining scavenger communities, wolves demonstrate how a single species can influence the dynamics of entire landscapes. At the same time, their future depends on human decisions about land use, livestock, hunting, and conservation policy. In this sense, the story of the wolf is also a measure of how modern societies choose to relate to the remaining wild portions of the planet. Section 7. Call to Action. If you found this exploration of the wolf's history, biology, and ecological role informative, please consider liking this video, leaving a thoughtful comment, and subscribing for more evidence-based documentaries. How should modern societies balance human needs with the ecological and ethical importance of apex predators such as the wolf? Thank you for watching, and for reflecting on the enduring presence of one of the most iconic animals of the wild.